'Cause this land we love, but we the love without peace. Lord, this island.
Welcome back. Well, to the economy. This year, the effects of the recession began hitting some people quite hard. Steel workers were the first to feel it in large groups. In March, ArcelorMittal shut down its plant and almost 700 workers were immediately terminated. That came after its December 2015 layoffs. By March, the Labour Minister estimated conservatively that about 5,000 workers had been laid off nationwide. Media houses were hit hard too. Workers at IETV, GML and CCN were laid off by the dozen. Construction, manufacturing, agriculture, everything was down. So we got an exclusive interview with the Finance Minister to find out what the government did and said about the economy this year.
Right. Okay, tell me when you're all ready. Ready? Okay. Thank you very much for coming at such short notice.
No, Minister. Thank you for allowing us to come here today to interview you. Briefly, what was the macroeconomic situation when your party came to power?
We came into government last year faced with a number of wage increases that had occurred in 2015. It was an election year. You know, governments tend to do these things sometimes. And because it appeared that the good times would never end, public expenditure in Trinidad and Tobago grew by almost 20%. Actually, almost 40%, sorry. It grew from somewhere in the vicinity of about 45 billion Trinidad and Tobago dollars to 63 billion Trinidad and Tobago dollars. So we're almost at the point where it's difficult for us to borrow any more for budgetary support and for capital development.
Tight security surrounds the Muppet Show, with the theater holding over $50 million in gold bullion. Trained guards watch the precious metal round the clock, and dire consequences will befall anyone who so much as lays a finger on it, like so.
And therefore the only solution is growth. That's the only solution.
Okay, so with that picture painted, what about a plan to reduce government spending?
So one of the first things we had to tackle was cutbacks in subsidies and transfers.
Yes, and on a scale of 1 to 10, here's your score so far.
Since September, in the September 2015 budget, I increased the price of fuel by 15%. I then realized that was not enough. I came back again in April and I raised it again by 15%. And I came back again just a few weeks ago and raised it by another 15%. They haven't rioted yet. So I might raise it by another 15% in April of next year.
It's part of calypso culture. Our leaders will always feed us, give us fodder, you know. So things that are pregnant for some good lyrics and good blows in lyrical blows, I should say.
The Prime Minister would have distanced himself from those statements, and I think Colm Imbert has to be very careful. I think that he has to decide whether he is going to come inside or come outside, because he may very well find himself in a situation where he is outside of his own political party.
So how has your government dealt with the issue of back pay and outstanding money for public workers?
From a political perspective, we had to go and discuss it with the trade unions and tell them that we just can't pay all of this back pay in 2016.
Okay, that's 2016. How are you going to deal with this moving forward?
Wage restraint. I've already told the trade unions that from 2017 to 2020, our offer will be 0, 0, 0. So I have featured in a number of placards from trade union members marching around the Prime Minister's office saying, Imbert must go, Imbert must go. But that's just how it is.
Essentially, you're saying then, Minister, that there'd be a wage freeze?
This is just informal discussions, that as we settle the previous years, the outstanding periods, as we go forward, we're going to have to go with a lower figure. I just want to make that absolutely clear. There is no wage freeze. There is no government policy of a wage freeze. And I never said there was going to be a wage freeze.
COLMIMBERT.
You can't take my words and convert. You can't take the word restraint and convert it into the word freeze.
So in case you took a